Hello everybody, it's DTK Productions and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I've made it so the whole NBA can only shoot threes. How I did that is I went through and lowered every single stat for every single player for scoring that is not the three-pointer. I didn't touch the three-point ratings, so the best three-point shooters like Steph Curry are still going to be the best three-point shooters in this simulation. Along with that, I also went through and changed all the tendencies to shoot any shot other than three-pointers to 0, and also removing every single badge that has something to do with scoring inside the three-point line. And to be even more safe, I went to the simulation settings and turned every shot type down to 0, but jacked the three-point shot one up, and also lowered the shot percentages down to 0 for everything other than the three-point shot, which I left the same. Leaving us with an NBA that can only shoot shots from outside the three-point line, and our new best player is Giannis. I wasn't expecting that. He's only got a 51-3, but his defense, his playmaking, his rebounding all make up for that, leaving him up to an 86 overall. Then right behind him, you got guys like Shea and Luka. Wemby makes an appearance, LeBron, AD, and then what really surprised me was Steph Curry, who has the highest three-point rating in the game by far at a 99, drops all the way down to an 81 overall. But let's waste no more time and let's get straight into the simulation. We'll stop at the All-Star break, see how the stats are and what the best teams are looking like and who is on the All-Star team. And we made it to the All-Star break, and these are our scoring leaderboards. Kyrie Irving is currently leading the pack, averaging 29.5 points, shooting 46% so far this season. Right behind him is Steph Curry, averaging 28, Shea, Anthony Edwards, Trae Young, Jalen Brunson. Really just a bunch of guys that have been really good at shooting the ball for their whole career, or like Anthony Edwards, he's really picked it up this year. As for rebounds, you see a lot of guys averaging 15, 14, 13, even Josh Hart averaging 13.5 rebounds. And that's to be expected. You take more shots, it's a lower percentage shot, or more three-point shots, it's a lower percentage shot. You're going to see more misses, so obviously more opportunities for rebounds. Jokic averaging 24.5 and 15.1 rebounds and 7.5 assists, though, is still unbelievable. Then we go to three-point percentage, and for guys that qualify, Kyrie Irving is currently leading the pack, and then Jokic, Trae Young, Kevin Durant, a lot of the guys you'd expect to see up towards the top of this list, and currently shooting the most threes per game right now is Shea, who's shooting 22 threes a game. Looking at the All-Stars, really, once again, nothing too outlandish here. A lot of these guys are known for being able to shoot, so it makes sense for all of these guys to be here. Josh Hart, I'm sure his rebounds definitely helped him get here. Yeah, because he's averaging 8.5 points. His rebounds really helped skyrocket him into this All-Star game. And for the West, it looks very similar. Jalen Williams, shout out to him, making it to the All-Star game. He's putting up 17.8 with 7.5 rebounds. And for the Eastern Conference, the best team right now has been the Indiana Pacers, 38-15, followed closely behind by the Atlanta Hawks. And you look through a lot of these teams that are designed to shoot more threes and be efficient shooting the three ball are the teams that are up at the top. And then you look down closer to the bottom, Milwaukee Bucks have been absolutely horrible. Giannis is your lead guy. He's the best player by overall in the league right now after changing everyone's stats, but he's only shooting 17%. So the worst team in the East, the Charlotte Hornets, are really bad. They're 8-46, and LaMelo Ball just hasn't been able to get them anywhere. He's averaging 23, but on 33% shooting. And for the West, the Dallas Mavericks are topping the league. Timberwolves, Nuggets, Kings, Thunder, you know, a bunch of these teams that are pretty good in real life, but as you get lower, you get some of these worse teams like the Utah Jazz. The Lakers, surprisingly, actually, really far down here with Luka. And they're only a half game better than the Portland Trail Blazers, who really don't have much going on for them as well. But now let's sim all the way to the end of the season, and I will see you guys at the award selection. And boom, just like that, we are at the end of the season. Your MVP is going to be Nikola Jokic, 24, 15, and 7. Overall, just a really good year for him. Rookie of the Year, Kel'el Ware, averages 9.9 and 11, so close to averaging a double-double, but he's going to be your Rookie of the Year. Sixth man, Jonas Valanciunas. There were probably better options out there if I had to guess, but might as well give it to him. Victor Wembanyama, your Defensive Player of the Year, only averaging 1.5 blocks, but I guess if guys aren't going to be in the paint shooting layups or anything around the rim at all, there's going to be a lot less for him to block, so that makes sense. Block numbers are going to be down in this simulation. Anthony Black wins Most Improved Player, going from 4.5 to 7 points. Kyrie Irving wins Clutch Player of the Year. Jason Kidd, Coach of the Year, and the Mavs Executive wins Executive of the Year. That is kind of funny because in real life, he will probably win the furthest thing from that. And this is the All-NBA first team, a bunch of guys who you would expect to see here in any given simulation, but only shooting threes, they still make it here. Stephen Curry finds himself on the All-NBA second team, along with a bunch of other studs. All-NBA third team, defensive, and Jokic actually making it a defensive team. He doesn't have to play any paint defense. No guards actually made it into the all-defensive teams. And then for the all-rookie teams, you guys can pause and look at those. But before we get to the playoffs, I want to check some of the records we might have had broken only shooting three-pointers. And Kyrie Irving, 21 threes in a game this season, easily enough to set the record. Anthony Edwards, second, he had 18 in a game. Steph Curry, 17 twice. And for season records, Shea is going to be the guy who hit the most threes throughout the whole entire course of the season. He had 754, so he had quite a bit more than even just second place on this list. And the final standings, the worst team in the league was the Charlotte Hornets, 17-65. Milwaukee right there behind them. Detroit, I'm pretty sure if you look back in our simulation, they were like middle of the pack. They were not near the bottom. They must have went on like a crazy set of losing streaks throughout the course of the end of the season, only finishing 22-60. And then we'll look at the Eastern Conference playoff teams. The Pacers are going to be the 1 seed in the East. You go down to our play-in, though. The Boston Celtics squeak in barely positive. Miami Heat, Chicago, Orlando, and Philadelphia. Now, I'm actually a little bit confused because there are 5 teams listed. There are 5 teams listed in the play-in in the Eastern Conference. Boston, and then 4 more teams behind them. So there's 11 total teams. I'll have to check that out in the bracket. Yeah, and Philadelphia doesn't actually have a chance to make it into this play-in tournament. They are out. They have been eliminated from the playoffs. So this is a look at the Eastern Conference play-in. This is a look at the Western Conference. Let's quickly get through that so we can see who our real teams in our playoffs are. And with Boston losing their last game, they are out. And this is a final look at our playoff bracket. Golden State squeaks in. I got to go with Golden State. I can't say Steph Curry in a three-point shooting challenge isn't going to somehow lead his team to, I'm hoping, the NBA Finals. I'm going to say NBA Finals. That's where I want to see him go. They got a tough matchup with the number 1 seed first, though. So before we sim the playoffs, I'd like to see your guys' predictions down in the comments. Who do you guys think is going to win the NBA Finals with these final 16 teams? And let's sim round number 1 right away and see who we have going into the second round. And just like that, we have cut the teams remaining in half. Steph Curry and the Warriors were able to win it in 7 against the Dallas Mavericks. The Nuggets sweep the Thunder. Timberwolves weren't able to handle the Spurs. The Kings sweep the Grizzlies. And then in the East, everything was chalk except for the 6-3 series where the Atlanta Hawks were unable to overcome the Brooklyn Nets. So let's see who's going to our conference finals. And it looks like it's going to not be the Brooklyn Nets as they lose 4-2 to the New York Knicks in the Battle of New York. The Raptors will fall to the Pacers. And you see we've got 2 7-game series in the West. We'll try and stop this if we can. We can't. But San Antonio will move on past Sacramento. And we've got a Game 7 against Denver and Golden State. We're going to sim this one right here. And Golden State and Stephen Curry will not be able to overcome Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. So we will see the Nuggets and Spurs versus the Pacers and the Knicks. Now, I want to get to the NBA Finals. So we're going to simulate this round as well and see what our matchup is going to look like. It's not going to be the Indiana Pacers, the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, Josh Hart. Now out west, we've got a 2-2 series. Denver Nuggets unable to get it done, which means the San Antonio Spurs and Victor Wembanyama are going to find themselves in an only threes NBA Finals. So we're going to take this one game by game. Game number 1 is going to go to the New York Knicks. Game number 2 is going to go to the San Antonio Spurs. Game 3, Spurs. Game 4, Knicks. Game 5, it's going to the Knicks as well. Now we're going to simulate these last 1 or 2 games with Simcast and jump in if we have anything special going on. The Spurs need this one to stay alive. And this one was just never even a question. The Spurs absolutely blow out the New York Knicks in this game, which means we've got a Game 7. Game 7 can only mean one thing, and it means we're going to Simcast. Let's see what we have here. New York Knicks get out to an early lead. Doesn't matter. San Antonio's right back on top going into the second. Good second quarter makes it a 2-point game going into half. Spurs hit the 3 early in the second half to take the 1-point lead. Let's get a little bit deeper into this as we see a little bit of a lead by the New York Knicks. That lead slowly gets eroded away. It's only a 3-point game, and now it's a 3-point game the other way with 3 minutes remaining. San Antonio Spurs now up a little bit. We're going to jump in. Knicks have the ball. They're not in desperation mode yet. Jalen Brunson at the top. They should only be able to shoot threes. So let's see what they're going to do, how they're going to get their shot. And they're going to completely disregard the video for a second, I thought. There we go, Cat. He takes the three. He misses. Wemby with the rebound. I wholeheartedly thought they were just going to go shoot a layup right away and completely make me look silly in front of everybody watching this video. Wemby fading three. He's not going to get it. OG Anunoby, he's going to pull up. He's going to miss as well. Wemby, another rebound. Chris Paul bringing the ball up. The Knicks need to knock down a couple threes, get a couple stops here. Chris Paul uses the screen. How's he going to get his shot? He's going to pass this to Castle, and that's a wild shot. That's a crazy shot. Now you're down 12. It's a 4-possession game. Kick out to Cat. He's going to pull up. He's going to knock it down. He's such a good shooter. Cat has 37 tonight. That is crazy. In a Game 7 elimination, he wanted to win this bad. Let's see what the Spurs are going to do. Wemby at the top. Step back. Pull up from three. Off the mark. Knicks still have hope. They just need to really knock things down. Because remember, these guys can't hit free throws. Oh, that's just not a great shot by Brunson. Chris Paul, out of energy. Top of the key, wasting a whole lot of time. Wemby, that's a midi. He's going to make it. That's surprising because he has a 25 mid-range. But we'll live with it. There's 10 seconds remaining. New York Knicks just fell down too much. And Wemby with the steal, it's going to secure it. And the San Antonio Spurs, if you can only shoot threes, are going to win the NBA championship. The finals MVP is obviously Victor Wembanyama. He averaged 24 and 12 in the NBA Finals, shooting 44% from three. He was just lacing it all series. And that means Cat's 37 and 12 performance in Game 7 will go to waste as the Knicks ended up losing that fourth quarter by 20 points. And it's just a tough look. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one. Peace.